Welcome to Big Shoulders, the show where we explore the civic technology space here in Chicago. I'm Adam Heckman, Microsoft's Director of Technology and Civic Innovation. People in Chicago use their bicycles a lot. They use their bikes to ride to work, they use it to ride along the lake, to do errands. But how about using your bicycle for building economic development in a neighborhood or reducing violence? With me today is Oboi Reed, co-founder of Slow Roll Chicago. Thanks for being here today.
Pleasure's all mine, Adam. Thank you.
Thanks. Tell us a little bit about Slow Roll Chicago.
Sure. Slow Roll Chicago is a bicycle movement. We ride bikes to make our neighborhoods better. Our mission is to connect a diverse group of people to utilize bikes and the activity of cycling as vehicles for social change. Our vision is equal bicycle usage across the city of Chicago with respect to race, income, and geography. We envision bikes as a form of transportation contributing to reducing violence, improving health, creating jobs, and ultimately making our neighborhoods more livable.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Reducing violence, building jobs, providing health benefits in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
And you particularly focus on those traditionally underserved neighborhoods.
That's right.
Today, I was down in Inglewood and I noticed that there were divvy bike stations.
Sure.
I'm starting to see groups of people in the neighborhoods riding en masse.
Yes.
And it sounds like, at least some of those times, I saw a slow roll event.
I imagine you did.
Tell us about that and tell us about what the theory is behind how bicycles provide reduction in violence, economic development, and health benefits.
Okay, so we do a signature ride series. We ride every Wednesday night. All of our rides are neighborhood-based and hosted in partnership with community organizations. And this is during our season. Our ride season is from May through October. So our season has officially ended right now. We'll start again next year. We believe bikes are transformative. We believe bikes can transform lives and improve the condition of our communities. The easy part is using bikes as a way to improve people's health. The easy part is creating economic opportunities through the activity of cycling. There's solid research that shows when bike mode share in a neighborhood increases, the health of a neighborhood increases. Of course, there's a lot of benefits when people ride bikes more, especially people who are the most disproportionately impacted by healthcare disparities. Preventable disease, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease. Increased physical fitness is a way to address all of these conditions. And the activity of cycling is a part of physical fitness. So when people ride more, they improve their health. That's easy. Solid research on that. Nobody challenges that. Same thing with economic opportunities. When bike mode share in a neighborhood increases, it generates short trip activity where people who ride bikes more are more interested in staying in their neighborhood to run errands, to shop, to get things done versus hopping in a car and driving miles away from their neighborhood. So there's solid evidence and research that shows when bike mode share in a neighborhood increases, retail is attracted to a neighborhood, which in turn means more jobs in our neighborhoods. And the other benefit of bikes serving as a vehicle to increase economic opportunities, especially for low to moderate income neighborhoods, is when you give somebody who's low to moderate income a bike, you're giving him a healthy and affordable form of transportation. Much more affordable than a car, and in the long run, more affordable than public transit. Now, where there's not a lot of solid research is the direct connection between increased bicycle usage in a neighborhood and the reduction of crime. However, we're confident our approach of a community bicycle ride as a mechanism to increase social cohesion in neighborhoods, to increase social efficacy, can and will have an impact on reducing violence. The direct way we do it is by allowing people to, connect, to engage with one another, get to know their neighbors, get to know the organizations and the businesses that exist in their neighborhoods, begin to reimagine the space that's around them, to see the beauty that exists in our neighborhoods, and begin to treat our neighborhoods as places where we live, not simply places where we sleep. That's how we believe we can have an impact on reducing violence. Now, we also know when there's more jobs in a neighborhood and people feel hopeful, we can have an impact on reducing violence. When people are mentally and physically healthier in neighborhoods, we can have an impact on reducing violence. When we put more eyes, more bodies, more people on the street engaging in the space around them, we can suffocate the violence that exists in our neighborhoods, because when there's a vibrant, energetic existence and experience on the street, violence goes elsewhere because it's seeking quiet and peacefulness. Right. You know, it's not looking for people. When there's people engaging, we can suffocate violence. And we believe that we've only scratched the surface in the U.S. of bikes being vehicles, tools, mechanisms to make our neighborhoods better. And this is why we exist. This is why we ride.
Let me lock in on something you said
Sure.
a little bit earlier. You talked about riding together. There's definitely a social aspect of this.
Yes.
And I can imagine that any one person can see their neighborhood through a new set of eyes by getting on a bicycle.
That's right.
But what do you see when people get together and
Yes.
ride?
It's a beautiful experience. You know, sometimes we ride with 50, sometimes we ride with 200 people.
Which neighborhoods have you done this in?
Always South Side and West Side. Well, sometimes we do North Side neighborhoods, and we've rode downtown as well, but mostly South Side and West Side. Inglewood, Austin, Pullman, Roseland, Bronzeville. These are some of the neighborhoods that we ride.
And do you get people feeling like they're seeing their neighborhood again for the first time?
Absolutely. We did a ride series with the Chicago Park District focused on public art and architecture in neighborhoods. Now, these are predominantly communities of color, predominantly low to moderate income, and we have people in the neighborhood, outside the neighborhood, coming to our rides and experiencing the beauty that exists. And sometimes it's a neighbor who's seeing the beautiful architecture right next door, because you kind of take it for granted. And being on a bike gives you a way to connect and experience and take your time and see all that a neighborhood has to offer. There are times when we ride, 100 people. We're very jovial. We like to communicate with the crowd that's watching from the sidewalk, from the porch. We have music on our ride. On Wednesday nights, we ride at night, so the bikes are all lit up. It's like a parade coming down the street. People see us coming, they're yelling at us, they're making noises. It's our community coming to their community, and we create one big community.
And hopefully you're inspiring them to do the same.
I think we are. I think we're shifting culture, because I never thought of a bike as a social tool. I never thought of riding a bike as a social activity. When I thought of bikes, it was somebody on the lakefront flying down the lakefront, on their way somewhere. I didn't think of it as a social activity. That's a very important part of our work, is the ability for us to ride slow, take it all in, connect with one another, and connect with people who are watching from the sideline.
Hence the name Slow Roll.
That's right.
How can people who want to get involved find out more?
slowrollchicago.org. That's our website. You can find our contact information there. We're also on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and Tinder.
Oboi Reed, co-founder of Slow Roll Chicago, thank you for joining us on Big Shoulders today.
Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate it.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.